Yes, ma'am. Let's begin.
Okay, okay, okay. Just a moment. Okay. So before beginning, I don't think anyone knows me, right? So let me just quickly give you my introduction. Just a moment. Okay. Okay. I hope everyone can see me. So my name is Aitri Kormokar. I'm from Kolkata. Let me. Okay. I'm from Kolkata. So I did my BSc from University of Calcutta, and then I did my MSc from IIT Bhubaneswar. And then I cracked UPSC 2023, which is in GSI, with a rank of 8. Right. So today we are going to do a little discussion about GATE, and hopefully everyone did good in the examination. So let's just start. In any point of time, if there is any problem with slide with the screen sharing or my voice, just let me know, right?
Is it about GSI or GATE?
No, no, it's about it's about GATE only. Now, I personally cracked to GSI, so that's why I'm just included in the intro of mine. Just a moment.
GATE. Okay, okay. I thought it is about GSI.
No, no, no. GSI
GSI
is
paper
not
will
GATE.
GSI paper will be discussed day after tomorrow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay. I think the screen is shared. Just a moment. Okay, everyone can see the screen, right? And also can hear me? Please answer someone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Okay. Who wants to? I cannot add anymore. Okay. Sir, you're here, right? Please add this. I don't know how to do this. Okay. Let's just start. Okay. So this is question number 1. Here, let me just put a drawing tool. Okay. So in this question, like there is simmer, seethe, and smolder. Simmer means that when we gently boil something, right? And then we have seethe, where is vigorous boil, and then is so smolder, which is burn without a flame. So it's like a start, then we have a middle, then we have an end. Like this is the start of a process. My handwriting is very bad and I'm not used to pen tab, so please get used to it. And this is a middle of a process, and then this is an end of a process. So this is what this question wants from us. And in this, whatever it's asking, first is break, then we know the break, which is the initiation of something. Then we have raise, which means completely destroy something, and then we have obliterate, which means wipe out. So the answer would be obliterate. Okay, B. Okay. Next, question number 2. As you can see, the answer is 27. Let me just quickly explain what this is. So, see, there is the houses are numbered in a following way, right? The house numbers on one side of a road are consecutively odd integers starting from 301. Let's just take it as a left, right? So here is a road. Let me just draw it again. Then we have on the left side, I have personally kept. Then we have these houses, right? Which are like numbered in an odd way, which is 301, 302, 303, sorry, 305, then so on and so forth. Then we have on the other side of the road where the numbers are in an odd way, in an even way, sorry. So which is this? These are the houses, right? We have 302, 304, then we have 306, and so on and so forth on the right side. Now we have to find out the difference in the sum. Just a moment. Okay. So these are the odd parts and this is the even part. Okay. So now what we have to, the question is given like the difference of the sum of the house numbers between the two sides of the road is 27. Right. We have to understand this question. There is no actual mathematics in it. So it has given us in the question that in the left side, if we add all this, like let's say A1, we have to add 301, then we have to add plus 303, plus we have to add 305 and so on and so forth. And on the right side, similarly, we have to add A2 equals to 302 plus 304 plus 306 and so on and so forth. Okay. And in this question, they have given us that A1 minus A2 necessarily needs to be 27. This is our given. So we will take this partly, like okay. We have to take this partly. Let's just take these two houses, number 1 and number 2. And if we take the difference of their house numbers, it will be 302 minus 301 is equals to 1. Similarly, for the second set of houses, we have 304 minus 303 is equals to 1. Similarly, if we keep on doing this, the difference will always be 1. That's what I have written. The difference of the house numbers for each pair would be 1. So, and then according to the question, we have to add all this, right? So, in order for their difference, difference of the sum of the house numbers to be exactly 27, the houses on each side should also be 27. 27 on this side, 27 on this side, because we are adding this once, right? We will this add 1, then again 1, then again 1, and ultimately it will go up to 27. So in order to be this 27, we each part, the number of houses should also be 27. Okay. So this is the answer. Please take into notice that the number of houses on each side of the road is asking, right? So if they were asking the total number of houses, the answer would be 54, which is 27 into 2. Just take into account that before answering this question. Okay. Let's go with the next question. This was a pretty easy one. I hope everyone has done this correctly. So this is PQ to the power P by Q. Let me just do it again, right, for everyone. P by Q to the power P by Q is equals to P to the power P by Q minus 1. Yes. So let's just break this terms. First, we will do P to the power P by Q divided by Q to the power P by Q. Then on the right hand side, as we know, if there is in the power there is a minus 1, it will go as a divide, right? So the first term, the upper term, this gets cut, and then we have Q to the power P by Q equals to P. On the both sides, we are going to multiply with the power of Q. So Q to the power P by Q to the power Q, and also P to the power Q. I hope you understand this step. And then what we will do is this bracket we will wipe out. So Q to the power P equals to P to the power Q. This is the answer. And the answer is A. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is a series is given. So before answering this, please remember, whenever you are solving this type of series questions, make sure that from start to end, every term should follow the rule that you have just discovered in the examination hall. They should all of this term should follow this rule. Like 3 to 7 it follows, 7 to 15 it follows, but there can be a case where in 255 it might not follow, right? So from start to finish, you have to make sure that everything follows. So in this sequence, you can see that first term we have here, we are into 2 plus 1 makes the second term. Similarly, here 3 into 2 plus 1 equals to 7. Then we will do second term into 2 plus 1, which is 15. So it becomes 15. Similarly, we will do 15 into 2 plus 1, which is 31, which is the result, which is the answer here, x equals to 31. Just in case, we will make sure to see up to 255 if this thing matches, right? I don't know if this one rule has everyone come up with. Many other can go with many other rules, but you have to make sure that the entire series should follow this rule. Okay. Up to this, if there is any problem, just let me know. And if I'm going too fast or too slow, just let me know about that as well. Okay. Let me- Hmm. Okay. So here is a fifth question, which says that on a given day, how many times will the second hand and the minute hand of a clock cross each other during the clock time of 12:05 to 12:55? Very important is to notice that during thing. You are not asked within or something like that. So you have to consider from 12:05 to 12:55. Okay. So and also point to be noted, the second hand and the minute hand. So at each minute, or this second hand and the minute hand will cross each other. Like from 12:05 we will start counting, which is one time it will cross. Then in 12:06 it will cross again. So we will add with 1, so 2. Then this is right in 1. Then 12:06 there is again 1. Sorry, 12:07. 12:08 there is again 1. So we will add up to 12:55. Right. So the total time difference would be 55 minus 5, which is 50 minutes. So the number of times it will, the second hand and the minute hand will cross each other would be 50 times. So C is the answer. Okay. Let's just go with the next question. Okay. So this is the question, a little confusing, I should say. So let's just go with the from last to first. Like as his body dash years, which is the number 4, his body is a singular. So these 4 pivots will be there. Then we have 6 cross steps, which is plural. So it will be culminate, not culminates. Then we have the crowd. This is a controversial one because this is singular. So that is why it will be weights, not weight. So please take into account this. And then we have athletics. It is sometimes it is taken as singular, sometimes it's plural. But in this sentence, typically it is taken as singular. Okay. So this is the answer would be D. So question number 7 is 3 distinct sets of indistinguishable twins are to be seated at a circular table, has 8 identical chairs. Okay, so unique seating has to be done, of course. So we have 3 distinct sets of indistinguishable twins. So in case of twins, the number of ways these twins can be seated would be 2 factorial, which is 2. And there are 3 total pairs. So in this case, the total number of ways these 3 total pairs can be seated would be 3 factorial times, which is 3 into 2, 6. Right. So the total number of ways that these 3 pairs of twins can be seated in this arrangement would be 6 into 2 is equals to 12. So the answer would be 12A. I hope I am clear. Okay. So question number 8 is we have install capacity is in the right side here. Please take into account this megawatt. Then we have four different technologies: T1, T2, T3, and T4. And then we have their electricity generation, which is given in here left, which is megawatt hour, and in a time of 1000 hours. Oh, here I have just done one. Okay, it should be all 1000. Okay. So here, capacity factor, also the formula is given. All you have to do is see the values from here and put it in this equation, and we have to find out the highest capacity one. So that's what I have done. Like for T1, we will put the MWH, is the electricity generation, in the left, which is 10,000 here, and then installed capacity, which is in the right. Right here is the install capacity. Along this line we will see, which is 20 I have put, and 1000. So if we calculate this, this 3 will cancel out, and this 0 is also cancel out, and it will be 5. Oh, this is the 0.5 will be yes, 1000. I think it was 100. I'm not sure. This is do the calculation, right? If it's 1000, then this 3 will cancel out. And this 0 will also come, so it will be 0.5, and similarly these things with 0.3, 0.46, 0.3. So we have to find out the highest, which is the T1. I hope I'm clear. Let's just go with the next question. Right. So we have here is the 4 into 4 array as shown in here. And the first 3 columns is either cross and or the numbers. Here a rule is given very clearly, which is that the number in a cell represents the count of crosses and its immediate neighboring cells, like left, right, anywhere it can be. So first is 1, as you can see, here is a cross, so it's 1. 2, here is 2 crosses, so here is 2. Here is again 2, which is 2 crosses here, then 1, which is crossed again here. Similarly, all these points are doing here. So if we have to find out the maximum number of crosses possible in the empty column. So I have just magnified this. So since here is 2, one cross should be here, 1 cross should be here. For 3, 2 crosses are here, here is another cross. 4, here is 4 crosses total, this, and this. So the maximum number of crosses that should be possible is 1 and 2. So the answer would be C, which is 2. Okay. So this question is, I would say, pretty difficult because you have to figure this out. Right. So let's just go with one by one line, right? So first we have a half moon phase, the Earth, Moon, and Sun. So first we have to make sure to understand that when we are saying Earth, Moon, and Sun, we actually know what is exactly known. Like if we say ABC, right? Let's say angle ABC equals to 90 degrees. Okay. By default, we know that B is here. We will be at the 90 degrees. ABC. Sorry, ABC. So from this logic only, okay. So from this logic only, we will have to make sure that we understand exactly where Earth, Moon, and Suns are. Right. So let's just go with Earth, Moon, and Sun first. So Moon is at the 90 degrees. So Moon is at the 90 degrees. So that's what I have put here. Right. And then we have, if the Moon, Earth, and Sun angle is 89.85 degrees. So Moon, Earth, and Sun. So this angle would be your 89.85 degrees. Right. So we have to find the Earth, Sun, which is this Earth, Sun. I have taken it as Y. Okay. And then we have to find out Earth, Moon distances that I have taken as X. Okay, so we have to find a ratio, point to be noted. So the ratio would be Earth Sun divided by Earth Moon. So Earth Sun I have taken as Y and Earth Moon I have taken as X. Okay, so as the we already know that if you take this angle, right, and this is 90 degrees. So cos 89.85 degrees by the laws of trigonometry, we know that cos 89.85 degrees would be x divided by y. But we have to find out y divided by x, so I will just reciprocal it. So that would be 1 divided by cos 89.85 degrees. That is almost equal. That is almost a 381.97, and then it would be 382. Okay, so the option would be B. You have to actually figure out this diagram first, and after that it is easy. But the question is, they have given the question in such a manner, it is very confusing according to me. But hopefully you have answered this. So hopefully you have answered this. So it is also very difficult to actually put it in this calculator and so many work to do. But what can I say? Okay. So up to the aptitude, if anyone has any question, please let me know. The aptitude part, I think it was moderate, because every year in the gate they always ask some really difficult question according to me in the aptitude part, and apart from that some questions are easy. But I would say the aptitude was moderate to difficult. It was okay. If anyone has any question in any part, just let me know. Even at the end of the meeting, if you are thinking like, okay, I didn't understand that question in the aptitude, just let me know in that case as well. Okay, I hope everybody understood this part. So let's just go with the with the compulsory section for compulsory section, right? Okay. So the Earth magnetic field originates from convection in which of the following layers? So the answer would be outer core. Let me just quickly say why the other answers will not be here. Inner core is solid. We already know that. If you see this diagram, right? So this is the outer core, this lighter orangish, and the dark orangish is the inner core. So as you can see in the inner core, literally nothing is happening. All this convection currents and everything, it is happening in the outer core only. So that is why it will be outer core, and we already know the outer core is very magnetic because it contains high iron. And apart from that, we have lithosphere. Lithosphere, there is obviously, there is it is again solid, so there is no convection or anything. In the asthenosphere there is convection, of course, you already know this. That is related to the plate tectonics and all these things, the movement of the plates. So that is why for the magnetic field generation, we only the answer would be outer core. So there is, I think you already know this thing, that there is a dynamo that happens in the outer core because of this. So this, because of the convection currents that is produced in the outer core. So that is what which in turn generates this magnetic field. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay, let's just go with the next question. So, which of the following logging tools is used to measure the diameter of the borehole? The answer would be caliper log. Okay. So these two logs, if anyone can unmute and tell me what density and neutron log is used for. Can anyone tell me? Um, okay, I don't think anyone can. I'm audible, right? If anyone can tell me what it is about. Yes, exactly. It's about the porosity. And what about This sonic logging, do you know this? Yeah, if you don't want to like unmute yourself, you can just put it in the chat. It's fine. Hmm. Okay, very few people are here. Okay, no problem. Okay, so I don't think anyone has answered this. So I will just say, okay, no one has answered. No issues. So this is for porosity. And sonic, as long as I remember, it is, I think, related to lithology and all. Okay, so this is, so the answer would be caliper D. So here, let me just quickly show you this bit. This is the caliper log, right? This is the reading, this solid line. Okay. So this solid line, this here describes the caliper logging values. Okay. So as you can see, here is a little caving. Caving happens when there is a hard rock and suddenly it breaks. Suddenly it breaks, or there is a lot of fractures, and when you are logging in these areas, this suddenly breaks. So this is what we call caving. So here you can see the bit size has slightly increased. Not bit size, sorry, the caliper logging reading has slightly increased due to caving. And then when there is on gouts, that it is like this. And then if the diameter slightly decreases, then also the caliper log reading also decreases like this. Similarly, if there is a accumulation of mud cake, I hope you know what is mud cake. It is when sometimes mud slurry is used in different boreholes in order for lubrication or some or similar cases. So in that case, sometimes in permeable areas like permeable sandstone, these mud cakes can get stored. So in that case, the as you can see, the diameter here was this, but the diameter has decreased here. So that is why the diameter might decrease. So the caliper log reading is also decreased, right? So this is the entire case. So this is the entire case. The answer would be D, caliper. Okay. So here is the electrodes C1, C2, P1, P2. And if we all the electrodes are equally spaced, then a given array corresponds to which of the following configuration? Before answering this, equally spaced, I know whenever if I was in your place, I would see this and put on Venner. But Venner is not the answer, because as you can see in Venner, here is the Venner. P1, P2 would be in the middle and C1, C2 in the outskirts. Okay, so Venner would be not be the answer, because in this case C1, C2 is in the same direction, which is the current electrodes, and then we have P1, P2, which are the potential electrodes. They are on the other side, right? So this will not be the case. Similarly, in the Schlumberger case also, the same thing is there, like the P1, P2 is in the middle, which is the potential electrodes, and C1, C2 is in the outskirts, right? So Venner Schlumberger will not also not be the case. Dipole will be the here. See, here is the dipole. C1, C2 is in this direction and P1, P2 is in this direction. So with that taken into account, because this configuration is given, this arrangement is given, the answer would be dipole. In pole will not be the answer, because here C2 will be in infinity, right? And P2 will also be in infinity. Also in infinity. So pole will also be not be the answer, because it has said equally spaced. Here, let me just clarify one last thing, that it's given as Na. So it might come to the notice that why it is not the same, right? It's not A. But if you put N equals to 1, then this will be the exact same length. Here will be A, then will be A, and then will be A. And also the so this C1, C2 distance will be A. C2 P1 distance will be A, and P1 P2 will also distance will be the A. I hope I'm very clear. This is just a question from geophysics. It is a pretty easy question, but you have to notice very carefully the arrangement of this, right? In I think in 2 years earlier there was this question, similar types question, but the answer would be winner because the configuration was given is completely different. It was given as like this, like right, P1 P2 in the middle and C1 C2 in the outskirts like this. So in that case, it would be winner. Okay, let's just go into the next question. Okay, which one of the following is an ultramafic rock? So granite, you already know it is felsic rock. I have given a chart here actually to like understand what is the felsic. Then we have intermediate, then we have mafic, and then we have ultramafic. Right, gabbro is, we already know this, which is a mafic. Basalt is mafic. Only dunite is ultramafic. Right. Ultramafic is periodite. We already know this. If we see the classification of the ultramafic rocks, see here is dunite, olivine, orthopyroxene, clinopyroxene. This is entirely ultramafic rock classification. Dunite is the ultramafic rock. I just here. I hope you can see this is the dunite, and all this also are ultramafic rock, but in the question is given as dunite. So this is your answer. Okay. So next question is, gold is being produced from which of the following mines in India? Right. So Hutti, we already know this, which is in Karnataka. Yes. So this is the gold producing mainly. This is Hutti is here. Okay. Bola, I think you already know this, but Bola Nuashahi, it is in Orissa for chromium and also PGE deposits. Then we have Rajpura Dariva. This also you know, which is Rajasthan. It's in Rajasthan and it's for lead zinc deposits. And last is Jaduguda. You also know this. This is in Jharkhand or Odisha. I forgot. Oh, it's in Jharkhand. Yes, it's in Jharkhand. It's very famous for its uranium deposits. Okay. So here is, I have just given the maps right here. So here the Bola Nuashahi is given, and which is in Orissa. And here in Jharkhand, as you can see, the Jaduguda mines of uranium mines. And here, here is a Rajpura smelting complex. You already know this, which is the lead zinc. Hopefully, up to this, everything is pretty clear with you. So let me just go with the next question. So up to this question, I think it was this question was pretty easy, and up to this question, if you put much attention and concentration in it, up to this part was pretty easy. Then we will go into the difficult ones, I think. So if I talk about personally, I have never really heard about much of this areas. Apparently, you can find oil here. So let's just go with the options. Option first, which is the hydrocarbon field. We already know hydrocarbon field means oil or gas. So Tapti and Panna. So these are the two areas where you can find. Both of these belong to Bombay offshore. Okay, which is in the western part of India, which is asked in the question actually. Here is Tapti and here is Panna. So these are the two areas that is located in the western offshore of India, and here we can find the hydrocarbon fields. So apart from that, there are the two questions, which is Lakwa and Rava. Let's just see where it is. Lakwa, it is here. The picture is pretty blurry. I'm sorry for this. The Lakwa is in Assam. Okay, here is the Assam. And apart from that, here is a Rava oil field, which is in I think it's in Andhra Pradesh. Okay. All of these areas are oil fields only, but the question specifically asked you for the western offshore one. So make sure you actually see this question very carefully. Okay. So this is a what we can say is a trick question. No need for all this stories actually, because the only important part is in last line. Okay, so it says a cylindrical sample of granite which has a diameter have given 54.7 millimeter and length is given, which is basically a standard it has given for no reason. Shows a linear relationship between axial stress and axial strain under uniaxial compression up to a peak stress level where it fails, right? So uniaxial compressive stress is given as 200 megapascal and axial strain is given as 0.005. You have to find out the Young's modulus. The most important thing that you need to see is this unit, gigapascal, right? Apart from that, there is nothing in this question. So Young's modulus, you already know it is the stress by strain, right? So we already know this. All you have to do is put these values very carefully. 200 divided by 0.005. Two zeros are there, right? Okay, if you calculate this, you will get 40,000. Yeah, 40,000 megapascal. And you have to essentially convert it to gigapascal. Just a moment. Let me- okay. You have to just convert it to gigapascal, right? So from megapascal to gigapascal, you already know this. You have to divide it with 1000, which will convert it to gigapascal. So this zeros cut out. So 40 gigapascal. Okay. So the answer which is given in the answer key is 40 to 40. So you have to put 40 only. No other answer is valid. It's not scrolling. Why are you doing? Hmm. Okay, so I have just put everything in slides as in not slide is like a PDF, so you can see from here only. But I am still repeating this. Okay, from here there is a 2 marks questions are here. So let's just go very carefully. So we have to see the path, like there's a refraction paths along this. We have to find out the value, the what is this called, this path. So the answer would be PKP. So every year, almost every year, there is a question always related to this. So make sure you learn this very carefully, because this is very important. Okay. So let's just see with the PCP. PCP is this path. I hope you can see. Let me just put a red or orange, whatever. So here is the source. It goes like this, but it gets reflected back, not refracted, right? So that is your PCP. Next is PPP. So here PPP goes like this, P, then it goes PP, and then it goes PPP. If it's again gets refracted only in the mantle part, it doesn't go to the core part anyway, right? So this is PPP. PMP, I don't know what it is. Uh, Okay, so this is the thing. So as you can see, here is the focus, right? So it goes like this, then it gets refracted, that is gets inside the outer core itself, and then again it continues to the mantle. So the answer would be B, which is the PKP. Very important, the P wave, you have to notice this. It hasn't given any option with the S wave, so you're pretty clear, but you should note this. Okay. Up to here, I don't think there is any questions. Is there any? Okay. Okay. So here we will just match this. This one was pretty easy. So let's just go with the magnetic. You already know magnetic is the susceptibility, P3. So I just given the definitions, right? So magnetic susceptibility is the ratio of magnetization within the material to the applied magnetic field. Magnetic method, basically this measures the susceptibility, so it will go with this. Then gravity, we know this will be go with density. A gravity machine, it will take into account, or it will measure the different changes in the density in the laterally, and the excess or deficiency of its density inside the earth. So that's what gravity machines do, right? So next we have magnetotellurics. It will go with the R2, which is the electrical conductivity, and last is induced polarization, which is chargeability. So chargeability, I think you already know this. Let me just quickly revise it. So it is the property which is related to the conductivity. Once I will in a specific pattern, right? So I will put on some charge, or some by charge I mean some electricity. So some part of it, what will it do? It will basically accumulate these charges, right? In a, let's say there is a layer, so it will accumulate these charges along this. Usually along the impermeable layer, as you can see, impermeable boundaries. Let's say it's a clay, and this charges, this induced polarization machine, it will measure this. So that is why it will go with chargeability. So answer would be A. Okay. So the number of planes of symmetry in a tetrahedron is, we have to find out. Okay. So what is the plane of symmetry? I think you already know. This is a mirror plane. Okay. And this is a regular tetrahedron. All this is given. So so this plane, this violet plane, let me just quickly trace it. This violet plane, it is an indication of how you can divide this tetrahedron in such a way that both of this part, and this part is a mirror image with respect to each other. So 6 such planes are possible, right? 6 such planes are possible. If you divide it like this upper part and lower part will be the mirror image with respect to each other. So the answer would be 6. This 9 is for cubic systems. Please take into notice. Cubic systems. In that system, 9 such planes you can find where there is a mirror plane, right? Planes of symmetry. And I have also added this, which is the rotational symmetry, which is this axis of symmetry. 7 different axes of rotational symmetry. This is for just for information. And in case of cube, the rotational the rotational axis is 13. Okay, just for note, just keep it into mind. Okay. So next question was pretty easy, which is which of the following epoch belongs to the Quaternary period? Okay, I have just taken. I think every one of you already has this chart, which is a geological time scale. So I have just taken this part where the question belongs to, which is the Holocene and Pleistocene. Here you can see the Quaternary. Here is Pleistocene. Here is Holocene, and we have Pliocene and Pliocene, Miocene. This belongs to Neogene, right? So here is the Quaternary period. Please take into notice, this is the system or period: Quaternary, Neogene, and Paleogene. Cenozoic is an era, and then we have epochs. I'm sorry. Okay, so the correct answer for this MSQ would be A and B. Hopefully everyone had answered this correctly. Okay. So the next question is the oxygen is to silicon ratio is 4:1. We all usually study the silicon is to oxygen ratio, which is 1:4. Now oxygen is to silica ratio is given in the question, which is 4:1. We already know this belongs to an orthosilicate, unnecessilicate, mesosilicate, and this is basically olivine. We have all learned this. So the answer would be A, which is olivine. Quartz, we know it belongs to a tectosilicate, right? Here is a chart is given. So let me just quickly tell you. tectosilicate, the ratio is 1:2. Then we have diopside, which is single chain inosilicate. The ratio is 1:3. Then we have albite, which is again a tectosilicate, and the ratio is 1:2. So the answer would be olivine. If I take into account oxygen is to silica, it will be 2:1 in quartz and albite, and diopside for its 3:1. So olivine is the answer. Okay. So the next part is which of the following rock structures is there are folds? This is very easy question. Antiform, syncline, and synform. Here is the diagram is given. Antiform, here is synform, anticline, syncline, everything is given. And horst, we know that it is related to a normal faulting. Here, as you can see in this diagram, this is a normal faulting, right? Okay, hopefully up to this, everything is very clear to you. Okay. So here is the sums here. So let's just go with it. First, we have assumed heat producing elements are uniformly distributed within a 16-kilometer thick layer in the crust in a heat flow province, right? So we have surface heat flow, which is and a reduced heat flow, which is 54 milliwatt per meter square and 22 milliwatt per meter square. I've already done this, but let me just quickly explain why I have done this. Okay. We have to find out the radiogenic heat production. So surface heat flow we already know, and reduced heat flow we also know. So the radiogenic heat flow, which means that the heat flow which is solely the source solely lies on the radiogenic elements, right? So the heat flow would be radiogenic heat flow would be this 54 minus 22 divided by 16, which is 32, yes, divided by 16. Let's just cancel this out. We have 2, and just we have to change the this unit here. Milliwatt per meter square was the unit of the heat flow, right? And we also consider the 16 kilometers. So 16 was in kilometer. So for milliwatt to microwatt, we have to, just a moment. Yes, for milliwatt to microwatt, we have to multiply it with 10 cube, and then it becomes microwatt. And then from kilometer to meter, I have to again multiply it 1000. So this cancel out. So our answer is 2 only, microwatt per meter cube. Okay, hopefully this is clear. So next is for a confined aquifer with uniform saturated thickness, we have 10 meter of thickness and hydraulic conductivity of this 10 to the power minus 2 centimeter per second. We already know the formula of transmissivity, which is KB, right? So we will just simply multiply it. Not simply. It's we have to first convert it to centimeter to meter, which is by dividing it by 100. So it becomes 10 to the power minus 4 meter per second. So it's 10 to the power minus 4 into 10. So it becomes 10 to the power minus 3 meter per second. Just point to be noted. You have to find out in meter square per day. So from second to minute, we have to multiply. The second is in like is here. Just wait a moment. Second is in the denominator, right? Here is meter and here is second. So if we try to convert the second to a minute and then to day and everything, we have to like divide it, but it will go up and it will become multiplied. So 10 to the power minus 3 into 60 in from second to minute, then minute to hours, so it becomes 60, and then again from hours to day, which is 24. So it becomes this meter square per day. Then it becomes 86.4 meter square per day, right? And I think the answer was from 86.3 to 86.5 or 4. I don't remember exactly. So this will be the answer. Make sure to do all this calculation very, very carefully, because the question is pretty easy. So the range of answer would definitely be narrower, because there is nothing like inventive to do. Just a formula, you have to formula put out, and make sure to put this unit perfectly. So that's all you need to do. So this question was pretty easy. Okay. So next question is, current of 2 ampere is there, has passes through a cylindrical rod with uniform cross sectional area of 4 meters square, right? Then we have resistivity of 100 ohm meter. So we have to find out the electrical field, which is in volt per meter. So during this type of question, it is not always possible to remember this formula, right? How many formulas you have to remember? So you have to put it like this. First, we already know that R is equals to rho L divided by A, where R is the resistance, rho is the resistivity, L is the length, and A is the area, right? Then we also know V is equals to IR, right? So for R, I will just put rho L divided by A, and then rho L divided by A I will put. So I will just put EL. This is I, okay. I'm sorry for my handwriting. E into L is equals to I rho divided by A. So E would be I rho divided by A. This is all you have to do. So or in the this is one way if you want to remember this actually, but it is to aste. So quickly just okay. So you can do this like here the unit is given, right? So all you have to do is think about, so here is ohm meter is there. So let me just, V equals to IR, you have to remember this. Like for R is equals to ohm, we know this, and we have to ultimately come up with a volt per meter. So in order to for come up to volt per meter, I is ampere, we already know. Ampere. Just a moment. Okay, I'm back. Okay, R is equals to, we already know, we put it as ohm, and then we have 2 ampere and 4 meters square. So in that case, let's just put ohm meter and divided by meter square. So this meter will cancel each other out, and we also know that V is equals to IR, right? So we will just put ampere here. We'll just into this ampere. So this ohm and ampere, they will together, they will make a V, and then we have a meter in the end. So that's all of you have to do. Like so ohm meter is 100, and then we will put 2 divided by 4. So this cancel each other out. We have 50. So the answer would be 50. This is not a typical geology question, but like every year there is the difficulty of the gate questions is always increasing. So that is why they have given this question, I guess. Okay, let's just go with section B, which is for geology candidates only. The first question is, which of the following lineations can be observed on a foliation with an attitude of this? So this is the orientation, which is 030, and this is 210, and this goes to northwest. This is 40 degrees. towards, this is, if I just plus it with 210 plus 90, it becomes 300 degrees, right? So this is the direction, dip direction is 300. So the which of the following, we have to just answer this in a cancel out manner. First is the 40 degree towards 300 degrees. So this one is possible, right? Then we have 40 towards 040. So this is not possible because it goes towards this direction almost. Then 40 towards 220, which is in this direction. So here 40 degrees is simply not possible. Then we have 40 towards 350. So here also it's not possible. This is 350 degrees. So the answer is A. I hope everything is clear. So let's just go with the next one, which is the diopside. This is the matching. Diopside is prismatic. Okay, this is a diopside crystal. It looks like a prism. Then we have galena, right? Galena would be cubic. This is a galena. It looks like a cube. Then we have calcite, which goes to rhombohedral, which is this. And then we have fluorite, which is octahedral. It looks like this. This is the fluorite crystal. Okay. So the answer would be C. I hope everyone did this correctly. Okay, next is what is the composition of which one of the following reservoir closely matches with that of the iron meteorite? So this is Earth's core. Okay, so this is just a fact. You have to remember this, right? Just like another fact, I hope you know this carbonaceous meteorite. It has a close composition with the sun. Okay. So this is a fact that you have to remember, right? I found this from NASA's official website. Okay. So the last question for today is these are the different types of textures, right? So I have no idea where they have come up with this cone mantle texture. So we'll just put it at the last. Okay. Decussate texture, all of you know, which is this. This randomly oriented mineral greens dominated by crystal faces such as sheet silicates. Okay, this is very easy. So Q4, so either B or C would be the answer. Next, we will go with spherulites. This is a decussate texture. I hope you can see. See, this is a grain, this is a grain, this is a grain. All of them are randomly oriented. So this is one. And then we have spherulites, which is this. Radiating fibrous cave feldspar with or without crust. This is usually found in like felsic rocks you can find. So this is a diagram of spherulites. Okay. So the last one is millipede. So the very difficult to find out between B and C. But millipede, this is a thing. This is a texture that is, I think, recently has been discovered. I don't know. So I have found this from this paper, which is the formation mechanism and tectonic significance of millipede macrostructure. So millipede, I don't know if you know this. I hope everyone have heard about centipedes. Millipede is like that only. Okay, this is a earthworm kind of thing. So what they do, they stay like this. So that is the texture only. Okay, this is randomly oriented I'm sorry. This is the answer. S3. Inclusion trails in our porphyroblast curves into matrix formation by developing concave outward pattern. So this is the texture. I don't know if you can see in this, but this is signifies a millipede textures. It is, I think, it's seen in garnets sometimes related to a metamorphic texture. Last is the this cone mantle, which is apparently large strained mineral grains surrounded by fine grained pre-crystallized grains. Okay, so the answer would be C. Okay. So hopefully most of the people have already left, but it's fine. Thank you for staying behind. But let me just quickly know. I think everything is clear. So if everything is not clear, just let me know in that. And the last part, and the next part of this gate question, which is question number. Just let me quickly see. I have done up to question number 30. From 31 to last part, that will be discussed in the next class. Okay. I don't know who is going to take that, but in the next class it will be discussed. So hopefully everything is clear. If it's clear, I will just end this meeting for now. Okay.
Ma'am, the core mantle, uh, where you told the core mantle radiation,
Yes, yes.
match the following options.
Yes, yes.
What is the relation? I didn't get it.
Okay. So just let me. So here is a thing that in if I was in the gate, I would have done this in the elimination matter, right? Like decussate, you can see that decussate will be 4. Cerulite, you already know that will be 1, R1. So core mantle is the large strained mineral grains surrounded by fine grained recrystallized grains. So it is quite difficult to understand that the core mantle is a texture, right? It's first of all it's texture. I do not know from where they have found this, but in papers I couldn't find, but the millipede texture I found, which looks like this. So if from elimination method you can find out that millipede is this, which looks like basically a millipede, and core mantle is the whatever is left. So that is a texture, apparently a metamorphic texture. Okay.
Because they're written large. Sorry, can you please show it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait, just
Large,
yes,
large
last.
strain, right? Large strain, but near to the core mantle, almost the material is almost liquid. So wherever the
Yes, yes.
concept of strain is there, strain is only acting solid.
Yes, yes, I understood that, but don't confuse this with the core mantle that we know, right? The core mantle, we know that there is a core, there is a mantle, there is a boundary between them. So that's what we know.
Yes.
If any crystal was present, that will be in a certain manner that will be present. But I think just like this millipede texture that somehow they have find out. So just a moment. Millipede texture that they have find out from a certain paper. This papers from this paper I can only find this particular term that has been used. So I think from some paper they have find out this core mantle texture. Okay, this is the texture. So see this question. Match the microstructure or texture, whatever microstructure, right? This is some kind of texture or structure that you can find in a rock section. So
Yes,
from
ma'am.
there they have find out. So there is no relation actually between the core mantle that we know and this core mantle. That is a microstructure. Okay.
Method is basically odd one out.
I can, yes, yes.
Method is basically odd
Yes,
one out.
exactly. That's all you have to
Elimination
do.
method.
But I think this question was very, very difficult because it's not possible for everyone to know what is a
Right, sir.
millipede, how the millipede looks, how the millipede texture can be there. I have personally never heard about this term. This question paper, I am only seeing that something like this actually exists. So this is pretty difficult. And they have put the option in such a way that you have to know either millipede or core mantle microstructure, or you will be confused between B
Right.
or C. So I think it's a luck. Or if you
Yes.
know what a millipede looks like or what a centipede looks like, then you will be able to answer. Right.
Right, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Absolutely. Okay. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. Okay. I don't think anyone has any question. Let me just stop sharing. Okay. I hope everyone did good in gate. We will just discuss the last part in the tomorrow only. Okay. So all the best and good night.